So who here has created a listing before? Raise your hand. Okay. Who here wants to know how to get more organic traffic and more sponsored traffic to your listing? Raise your hand. Okay. Some of you didn't raise your hand. Who here brushed their teeth today? Some of you are still not raising. Okay. So the picture disappeared off of this, but so who am I? I sell private label. I did over $1 million in business last year on Amazon. I also created a PPC course that's called the PPC Blueprint. And I'm a member of several masterminds, and just made it a priority to really learn a lot about PPC, keywords, and how to get more traffic to your listings on Amazon. Also, if you go to amazingfreedom.com/smart, actually have a free private label course that you can download there. It'll take you through 5 steps of building a private label brand. Okay, so why did I choose this topic of keyword research? Why is it so important? So just imagine yourself, who here shops like at Costco or BJ's or one of those stores? So when you walk in, right, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff all the way at the end of the store, right? Where are more people going to? Where are more people buying, right? The stuff that's right in front. So it's kind of like the same thing with keywords and traffic on Amazon. If you don't have the right keywords, if you're not building your listings the right way, it's as if you really kind of don't exist. You're all the way in the last aisle of the store. If you have your listings done right, then it's kind of like being right at the front. Okay, so again, why keyword research? Keyword research is really the foundation for a lot of things on Amazon. When I'm looking to see what products I'm going to source for private label, I start with keyword research, right? I want to look at what is my main keyword? What does the competition look like? How many reviews do they have on the first page? When I create a listing, before I do any copywriting or outsource the copywriting, I want to do keyword research. What keywords do I want to have in my listing? And the same thing with sponsored products. Before I do any sponsored products, you want to know which keywords you want to actually target. And if those keywords are not in your listing, then Amazon, doesn't matter how much you bid, Amazon is not going to find you relevant for those keywords, and they're going to filter out your ad. Because Amazon cares more about relevance to the customer than how much you're bidding on the keyword. Okay. The other thing we'll talk about is making sure that your listing is actually indexed for keywords. So how do you know if your listing is actually indexed for keywords? We'll talk about how to actually check that to make sure that the keywords you're putting throughout your listing, your description, your back end are actually being indexed by Amazon. So we'll talk about
what that means.
Yeah, so if you might have keywords in your back end, right, that you put in your back end search terms. If your keyword, does Amazon recognize those keywords as being even in their sort of index of all the keywords that are related to your listing? If it's not, you'll never be able to rank for that keyword. So you want to be able to check that. We'll talk about how to do that. And when we're done, you can ask questions if you have any questions. Okay, so in the presentation, we're going to talk about how to do keyword research. We're also going to talk about how to verify that your listing is actually indexed. So I have like a 5-6 step process for keyword research, and I'll try to kind of go through it here and give you an overview. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple different listings. Okay, this is just an example. So let's take a look at this listing. So it's for a dog leash, and the title is the Instant Trainer Dog Leash. And they have one bullet point here that says attaches to any collar. So maybe somebody can shout out, what are some things that you think are missing from the title, let's say? Or what else would you want to know about this dog leash?
Size.
Yeah. Size, how long it is, what else?
Color. What kind of dog? Work with all dogs?
Does it work with all dogs? Is it small dogs? Is there medium-sized dogs? Right? Material it's made of. Right? So how does it work? Right? So this listing is a very poorly laid out listing, right? Because they're probably not going to rank for stuff that this listing is ranking for. Right? This listing is a retractable dog leash, 16-foot dog walking leash for medium, large dogs up to 110 pounds. 1-button break and lock, dog waste dispenser and bags included, right? Did they give you a lot more information? Which one are you more likely to click on? Which one are you more likely to buy? Which one is going to get indexed for somebody looking for a dog leash that's good for medium and or large size columns, right? Same thing with the bullet points that they have.
The first picture was really good. I like that.
The before and the after.
Yeah.
You know, I think this was the only picture though. So that's not. Okay, so keyword research is really your first step in creating a listing. The end result of doing keyword research should give you a list of keywords that you want to add into your title, your bullets, your description, and your back-end keywords. So where do you start? So the first place I start is I create an Excel spreadsheet, which I separate out. Initially I'll make one list, but then eventually I want to separate out and have major keywords, minor keywords. I actually will include misspellings. I'll include branded keywords that I want to target for sponsored ads. And you ultimately want to have about 10 major keywords that you probably want to make sure some of those are definitely in the title, and then a bunch of minor keywords that you want to weave into the listing. Okay, so how do you actually do that? Where do you start? So I'm going to talk about some free tools. I'm going to talk about some paid tools. Okay. So is everyone familiar with the Amazon Autosuggest? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You type in, dog leash, and then it'll say 16 foot, or for medium dogs, right? Auto-populate, right? And where does Amazon get those words from? From actual customer services, right? So that's really good data, right? So you want to use that. Now, what if there was a way to actually pull all the Amazon Autosuggest keywords without actually manually going through it, right? So Amazon gives you the Autosuggest for dog leash, but it also gives you a list there, but it also gives you, if you type in dog leash and then the letter A, it gives you everything that starts with A after dog leash, B, C, D, right? What if there was a way to pull all of them? So if you see this, like if you put in barbecue gloves, there's actually a website that will pull all the Amazon Autosuggest keywords. That's a great place to start your keyword research. So the website is, it's called SEO Chat. The slides will be given to you, but you can probably Google SEO Chat Autosuggest tool. It's a free tool. You basically put in a keyword, and it has the ability to pull Google, Bing, Amazon, and maybe another engine, but I just uncheck those and just do Amazon. Okay, and that's going to pull up all the keywords. I basically look at everything that's relevant to my product and add that into my spreadsheet. Okay. So Amazon gives you a lot of data, right? It gives you the auto-suggest. What else can you do? Well, what you can do is you can actually put in like dog leash, let's say, and then look at all your competition. Okay, so in this case we did barbecue glove. And what I want to look at is I want to look at the top listings, like everything on the first page, and I want to find all the duplicate keywords, meaning all the common things that the top listings have in common, right? Because if they're all putting those keywords in their title and their bullets, if I see a commonality of words, I want to pull all those words, right? Maybe some things I wouldn't have thought of myself. So what I do is I open up a new tab for each one, so I'll have like 15 tabs open, and I'll go through and I'll find the common words. Okay. The next step is doing something called reverse ASIN. So there's a couple different tools where you can do reverse ASIN. Who here knows what reverse ASIN is? Reverse ASIN allows you to pull up a competitor ASIN and find all the keywords that they're ranking for on Amazon. Okay? So it's really good way to spy on your competition. So there's a couple different tools that do this. One of them is Keyword Inspector. Another one, which is a great tool, has a Chrome extension also by Scope from Cell Labs. Maybe, Jeff, are you talking about Scope?
I don't sell from stage.
You don't sell from the stage? I'll sell for you. So Scope is a very good tool by Cell Labs that also allows you to pull up on Chrome, right on Amazon, pull up the keywords that your competition is ranking for. So pull up the top 5, top 6 listings and run either reverse ASIN on Keyword Inspector or on Scope. And those are additional keywords that you can add into your spreadsheet to find more words that you want to, again, weave in your listing or target for sponsored ads. Okay?
Sounded good.
What's that? Good job. Oh, thank you. Ask Jeff, make sure Jeff gives you a discount code too. There's one in your bag. All right, there you go. Another tool that I use is from Helium 10. It's helium10.com. Again, I don't get paid to recommend Helium 10, but from Helium 10, one of their tools is called Magnet, and basically it will pull up a lot of related keywords for, if you put in like dog leash, it will pull up a lot of different related keywords. And it's another tool that you can use to populate your Excel spreadsheet with keywords. But again, you're going to want to weave into your listing. The tool for Magnet also will give you search volume. Nobody really knows for a given keyword how many people search. Any tool that you see out there that shows you like how many monthly searches there are for a product, merchant words, any tool, they don't really know. It's all based on an algorithm. What Helium 10 does is they pull Bing search. Right now, I don't necessarily rely on that to know, okay, that's how many people search for the product a month, but I use it as a relative tool. So I'll give you an example. If I have a product that's a garden hose, I want to know, should I target my main keyword, should it be garden hose or water hose? Well, I can look at like a couple different tools that show search volume, and if they're showing me more people on Google, which you can do also Google Keyword Planner we'll talk about, or Bing, if more people search for that term over the other term, then I know that's a more important keyword for me to make sure that I target. Okay, so we still sort of have a problem. I don't know if some of you have kind of seen Amazon's recently been making some changes in their back-end keywords, if they're indexing keywords, if they're not indexing keywords. So you want to know if the keywords in your listing are actually being indexed. And there's a way to do that manually, yourself, for free, or you can do it with the tool. So the way you can check if any particular keyword or keyword phrase in your listing is actually indexed is you do a search with the ASIN and then the keyword next to it. Okay? So in this case, there's an ASIN here and barbecue gloves. Okay? If you see here the result like this, one result like this, and it shows it, it means it's indexed. Okay? If you see, so we took the same one, the same ASIN for the barbecue gloves and put it with dog leash. If you see here, it says we found 0 results, and then underneath it shows you different things there, then it's not indexed. Okay? So if your keyword is not indexed, that means you want to look at where it's placed in your listing. Sometimes keywords in the description are indexed, sometimes they're not. If it's a very important keyword, you want to make sure you move it to your bullets or maybe into your title, because there's a much better chance that it gets indexed than your bullets and title. So lastly, you want to make sure that you write your listings for not just stuff, a whole bunch of keywords, right? Like, in your title, keyword. You want to write your listing to satisfy 2 different audiences, sort of, right? One, you want to satisfy the Amazon A9 algorithm, right? So that you can rank and people can find you. And 2, you want to copyright well so that when people actually read it, they're going to be convinced to or want to buy your product, right? So you want to make sure you remember to do that. And then when you have all the right keywords, you can get more traffic organically and from PPC. Okay, and again, shameless plug for our free private label course, but it's really free, so you can go to this amazingfreedom.com/smart, and you'll get a free video course that'll give you the basics of starting private label brands on Amazon. That's it for my presentation. Does anyone have any questions? Greg?
Have you ever looked to see if your misspellings are indexed?
Yeah, so Helium 10 has a tool also called Misspellinator, which is pretty cool because one, it allows you to find misspelled keywords. Now there are free tools out there where you can type in a word and it can show you misspellings. The benefit of using the Helium 10 tool is it also shows you if Amazon auto-corrects the keyword, the word. So if Amazon auto-corrects the misspelled word to a correct spelling, then it's pointless to add that keyword somewhere. If Amazon doesn't, then you should do it. So that's why I like that tool, because it tells you. And then I will usually add those in my back end, because I don't want to put misspellings like on the front end of my listing. But I have ranked for misspelled keywords.
Most of us piggyback off of other people's listings.
Right.
And if we fix our portion of the listing, does that help without going through Amazon and actually fixing the listing through them?
Well, no. It's a question of whether or not Amazon actually takes that information and adds it to the listing. So this will work better if you're creating your own listing, but if you make it.
It will work. It's Depends if they have the authority.
Yeah, it depends if Amazon takes your contribution and sort of accepts it. So if you add keywords, Amazon may or may not take your contribution because there might be 30 different sellers contributing data, and then Amazon would need to decide if they take that or not. So it could work. I mean, if you can influence also like title change or bullet point changes, those things are more of a sure way to know that you're adding and that your contribution
Yeah, I've
is.
done that before, I just didn't know the back end keywords would make a difference.
It could, as long as Amazon takes the contribution, then yes.
So once you have like 100 keywords, should you focus on the top 10 because maybe they're selling like the 80% of your products?
Yeah, so the most important like major keywords, I kind of want to make sure that I weave into my title, probably try to get those keywords in. And you only need to have a keyword phrase or any one keyword only once throughout the listing. So if I have like barbecue gloves, grilling gloves, I only need to have the word barbecue, gloves, and grilling. I don't need to have the phrase repeated over and over again. That's in the back end and that's in my listing. So sometimes I'll have phrases that have similar words, but I only need to have the unique words sort of throughout the listing. So I'll try to include as much as I can that makes sense in the title.
So just like a follow-up question. So for example, barbecue gloves.
Right.
Are there like special strong keywords that you're all competing for?
Are there special keywords?
That like everyone on that page is competing for to be ranked
Yeah,
on?
probably things like barbecue gloves, grilling gloves, heat-resistant gloves. What you can do is you can look and see what the competition on the first page has in their title, for the most part, and you can kind of see what they're going for based on what they're putting into their title, assuming they're doing a good job in their listing. Okay, thank you.